This makes no sense.
Do you think a 12-year-old should be able to get a tattoo?
I'm going to say no.
Probably not.
No.
It's probably too young to make decisions.
It's a pretty permanent decision.
They can't make the decision for themselves yet. It's something permanent on their body.
Do you think a 12-year-old should be able to consent to puberty blockers?
Yes.
Yes.
And I understand how that sounds really hypocritical.
Yes, it's a permanent change on their body, but
No.
I think that at that point in their life, they probably know who they are, who they want to be.
And you think so at 12 years old?
Yes.
Do you think a 12-year-old should be able to consent to puberty blockers?
Yes, because that's not a permanent decision.
That's a life-changing
It
decision.
is.
I don't think that any 12-year-old is in a position to make a decision that's going to affect them long term.
When you get puberty blockers, for a lot of kids, that's like life-saving. It's keeping them from having to go through a puberty. I think puberty...
Wait, life-saving? It saves them from going through what? Wait, I need that. Did I hear that right?
When you get puberty blockers, for a lot of kids, that's like life-saving. It's keeping them from having to go through a puberty. I think puberty blockers are a great sort of like middle ground.
So puberty's just out here killing kids? Puberty itself, the natural human progression of going from adolescent to adult, that's just out here eliminating kids. Just oh my, where is Ashton Kutcher? Are we being punked? Some of these videos that I break down, I just can't believe and truly fathom the answers that these people give. How do you get up every single day, find your clothes, find the door, go out in the real world and not just stumble, bumble, and completely crash and burn? I don't get it. I just don't get it. This makes zero sense. I can't comprehend the level of stupidity that we watch in some of these interviews. My goodness. God bless my man doing the interview. God bless man on the street. Every time I see him comes correct. I don't know how you hold a straight face and keep composed in these moments without bursting out laughing or in tears or both at the same time. But one more time.
When you get puberty blockers, for a lot of kids, that's like life-saving. It's keeping them from having to go through a puberty. I think puberty blockers are a great sort of like middle ground to allow a child to better understand themselves without having to make decisions like surgery or doing nothing and having to live through a puberty that is not within
What?
that they don't identify with.
I think there's plenty of time to make those decisions later on once they've had a chance to decide exactly what they want their identity to be.
I think that maybe there should be more waiting, but I don't want to put down trans ideas.
Oh, that'd be the worst, wouldn't it?
So,
Do you think a 12-year-old should be able to consent to puberty blockers?
If they can make an informed decision, yeah.
And you think a 12-year-old can make an informed decision?
I don't know, I guess it depends on the 12-year-old.
Be like a really mature 12-year-old.
Right, yeah.
Because some children you can just tell when that decision is legit with them, but like a 12-year-old child, I think that would be a little difficult.
At
Just a
12
little
years
bit.
old, you have a sense of your gender identity, of your sex identity. So I don't see why. I mean, we know there's kids that young killing themselves because they have so much gender dysphoria that they're having to deal with the struggles of being trans. So why would we, if there's a simple answer like puberty blockers, I think it's one of the best resources.
What's wrong with you people?
The struggle to virtue signal in these people is bar none. It's just on some next level type of stuff. Wow. Just trying to force these ideologues in the public. She's struggling to even make it make sense because in her head, somewhere back there, like the lights are on, but nobody's home. But somewhere back there, I have faith. I have hope that there's a coherent thought, that there's an original process that you just want to let it be known. But no, the resource would be parents doing their job, telling their kid the truth. That's what real love is. Real love tells the truth. Mommy and daddy, when you were straying off path, even if you had a single parent or a guardian growing up, when you were messing up, jacking up, acting how you knew you shouldn't have been, or, you might not have known, but they quickly let you know, swift kick in the butt, grounded, detention in school, whatever it is, somewhere along your life has told you that's not the way because they truly care about you. So why wouldn't that be the go-to resource instead of letting a kid think that they know what's best? Parents need to tell them what's up. Parents need to tell them that you're a boy or a girl at birth. When you were knitted together in my womb as a mama, That's what you are. And there's no changing it. You were born with a set of bat and balls or a mail slot. There ain't no changing that. There's not, you could chop it off, swap it out, dress up in whatever facade fairy tale land that you want to, but you are still what you are. A male will never be able to give birth to a little baby blessing. And a woman genetically will never have the physical strengths and attributes that a man does. We're built different, and that's okay. That's the way God designed it. And God don't make mistakes, baby. You got to deal with it. Goodness, I get fired up, but these people drive me nuts.
So if a 12-year-old thinks they're a different gender, they should be able to go in and be like, I want puberty blockers?
I mean, I don't think it's that simple as that. I think there's a lot more like medical theory and social wellness that needs to be incorporated into that interaction between a 12-year-old and I guess a doctor, if that's what you're saying they're going to. But I do think that a 12-year-old should have that choice.
What do you have to say to those people that let their children consent to puberty blockers at like 10, 11, 12 years old?
I would say that I disagree with you, and I think you're an irresponsible parent. Bottom line.
So they can't drive at 12. They can't drink at 12. They can't legally buy a gun at 12. They can't do so many different things, but yet they can change who they are. They can't, but they think they can. They think by taking this foreign substance, this wonky blocker, that's okay. Please, somebody just make it make sense to me. This doesn't add up. I know y'all watching this channel, y'all got common sense. Y'all have rationale and reason, and this is just off the rocker crazy. But some of these people, other than my man right here with the stash, he's still on my screen, my goodness, I'll be dogged. Like, just when you think society couldn't get any dumber, wait. Hold that thought, because we got some more for you. I blame the parents. They have to take the blunt of the responsibility, and the teachers in the public education system, which also coincides with the parents, because there's no way that these kids are being homeschooled. They pick up these ideologues at school from other students, from in that woke curriculum, wherever they're gathering these ideas. Come on now, we need to wake up. We need to get it together, society, because these are kids that we're talking about here. What do people not understand about the severity of these decisions, of these questions that are being brought up? These are fragile, innocent, impressionable lives that pick up on everything that they see around them. They're not going to be able to make a proper decision that is going to lead them in a positive direction. Like, you got to be smoking some next level kind of messed up high to think that it's okay for a clueless child to make a deal with the devil like this. That's what I think puberty blockers and gender transphoria and whatever the words that people are making up that didn't exist 50 to 100 years ago, it's all made up. They're just pulling it out their wazoo, saying, throwing it on the wall till something sticks. You got the LGBTQIA+ alphabet mafia. You got unlimited genders on this spectrum, according to these people. Like, a person's brain won't even be fully developed until they're somewhere in their 20s. And you think that they can comprehend the serious extent of that decision at 12 years old? Are you kidding me? Like, not even Albert Einstein would have the mental capacity to truly understand what's going on at that age. So people really need to cut it out and stop with all this hot garbage. And it comes down to valuing life. People don't value life anymore, and they need to, like the good old days where it seemed like most people valued life from the womb to the tomb. They love children. A lot of kids grew up with a responsible set of parents that were God-fearing, and they raised them with moral values and discipline and taught them that this is how you live. And just because you feel a certain way, it doesn't make you right, because if that thought winds up questioning what your gender is, then you're way off the mark wrong. Like, that's not okay. And parents told their kids, they weren't afraid of their child going to school, telling their school counselor or teacher that they identified as this and wanted to be this. And then, you know, the state getting involved and taking the guardianship away from that parent. All sorts of crazy, absurd things going on in this country right now. And I don't care what little Billy Bob or Cindy Lou says about what they think that they are. You are what you are. That's reality. It's not just an opinion. I don't care what adolescent kid tries to tell an adult. You're supposed to know better. You're supposed to have the mental capacity and maturity to say, you don't know what you don't know, but you're going to learn. You're going to go through that puberty, and that's just what it is. Like, you need to handle business, go through whatever difficult stage it is. All of us have went through puberty that are watching this video. I can almost guarantee it. And the majority of us, it was difficult mentally and physically, but we survived. So these people, they need to buck up. They need to handle life as it is and not make it a million times harder by throwing in these crazy sort of puberty blocking chemicals and all the other radical, ridiculous things that they're out here experimenting with. That's what these kids are walking experiments. These doctors and data analytics researchers, they don't know what's going to happen 10, 20, 30 years down the line. They're just going by the seat of their pants. These doctors aren't being transparent. You don't get a redo. These actions, once they're executed on, they're irreversible. There's no going back on it. You don't get a second go round and remix and change your mind. Nope, you're stuck with that decision that you make, whether it's with your hormones being all jacked up or you're done swapped out, taped on, done all of that. You could dress up all you want to. You can dress up and eventually, hopefully you wake up and start putting on the proper clothes that represent your actual maleness or your femaleness. But when you start playing with the biology and trying to take away what God blessed you with, it's going to get real jacked up. And at some point, it will be detrimental to these kids' health. And I pray for these future generations. I really, really do, that it doesn't get to that point. You may feel confused. You may feel lost, but you need to wake up, and people need to really love you and tell you what's really going to happen if you actually go through with that decision. And that's why I call these lies out and judge evil sin so openly and so righteously, because although I never had some gender confusion and was, questioning if I was trapped in the wrong body, I was lost in sin. Sin is sin. And I was stranded out here living like an absolute fool in darkness, sleeping with whoever, drinking, going to Vegas, hitting up strip clubs, you name it. As a young 20-something, that was deep into the fitness industry. I was all heavily involved in some sinful behavior. And if I would have kept going down that path, it would have led to destruction at some point. But I thank God for having mercy on me, because he placed the most amazing woman in my life at just the right time. I don't care what anybody says. God is perfect all the time. His judgment, everything is right on the money. It's human beings that fall short and choose to do bad things and choose to pursue evil, illicit actions. God told us how we're supposed to live. So if you go against that, prepare to face that wrath and deal with those consequences. He told you not to touch that hot stove, but what did you do? You touched the hot stove. And I was doing a whole lot of that. But thank the Lord that he put my wife in my life to tell me about the consequences that I would face if I didn't change up my ways. And that's why I know now the way to real peace and real eternal salvation. And that's why I spread the good news and always share the word and tell people that there's only one truth. Truth ain't relative. Gender is not on a spectrum. There's only two genders, male and female. And the only way to heaven is through Jesus Christ. And that's what you should be striving for, because if you're not, where you going to end up? What's the purpose of life if there's not heaven? Just over. No purpose for anything. No reason that we can't just go out there and kill our fellow brothers and sisters and whoever, steal whatever, sleep with whoever. There'd be no standards, no moral values, no reason for anything. God's the reason. God is the creator of all things, and he gave us a purpose. He designed us with a purpose in his image. So people need to step out of this nonsense and step into faith, and people need to repent of their sins, accept the Messiah as Lord, get baptized, so then they can actually move forward out of this confusion and into reality and start living in righteousness and go out and be a light in this very, very dark world. I truly believe that. I know that. So with that being said, as usual, I got to dish out some biblical soul food for us to digest and keep our minds aligned with the kingdom. So 1 John 2, verse 15 through 17 says, "Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the desires of the flesh and the desires of the eyes and pride of life is not from the Father, but is from the world. And the world is passing away along with its desires. But whoever does the will of God abides forever." We're on this side of the grass today, but we might not be tomorrow. And if you don't have eternal salvation, if you think life is hard now, if you think things are confusing now, wait till you have to face eternal damnation and punishment in hell. I don't want that for anybody. So why not look to Jesus? He loves you. His love endures forever. He wants you to look to him. It literally says, do not be afraid 365 times in the Bible. So every day that you get up and you have faith in Jesus Christ, you don't have to worry about anything because it's already been taken care of. You can literally cast all your anxieties, all your depression and doubts and all of that onto the Lord. It's been taken care of. The slate has been wiped clean, and it's all going to be worked out for those of us that look to God and love him with all our heart, soul, and mind. So I pray that for these people. I pray that for you if you haven't accepted Christ as your Lord and Savior yet. I really do, because it's so much better. It's perfection when you do, because you are filled with peace. You're fulfilled, and the craving of life is curved when you look to Christ. That's a fact. So put all this nonsense down and put your faith in the Lord. But what do y'all think about all this? I know you may think I'm crazy. You may think my rants are a little too much, but it is what it is. Me and my house, we serve the Lord, and that's what we're going to continue to do on this channel and in real life. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I would love to hear it as far as this video is concerned. Anything you want to let me know, drop it down below. Let's keep this conversation rolling. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, ring that notification bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. If you like what I'm doing over here and you want to show a little extra love and support, make sure you go check out our website down below in the description section. That way you can get all the awesome shirts you see me wearing in every single video. They're all made by my beautiful wife. This one says created with a purpose. It has it on the chest and on the sleeve. It's based on Ephesians 2 verse 10. I like mine a little baggy, so it seems a little extra room to move and groove, but we got all different sizes ranging from itty bitty extra small to big and hefty 5X, a bunch of colors, different designs, all of that. I'm sure you can find something that you like or a great gift for someone that you love. Outside of that, you can always join the Gibson family here on YouTube and become a member. You can buy me a coffee. You can join the Patreon family. All those links are down below as well. By no means do you have to do any of that. Just showing up and allowing my freckle face to rant at you for a few minutes. I am greatly appreciative. I love y'all. I cannot thank you enough. Until next time, I'll be praying for you. Godspeed. I'm gone.